but more importantly, he made 7 of his 8 shot attempts. He also showed off a new mid-range jumper and different shooting. We're joined once again by Steven Jackson. Steven, how did Lonzo's new shot look to you?
To me, it didn't look different. I've been watching him for a while now, and you know, me personally, I had a funny shot. My shot was from a little bit over here, too. Yeah. You know, it was a little slower. I think his shot looks different when he shoots off the dribble. Right. Because his set shot, I think he thinks too much, and that's where his form looks kind of out of whack. But when he comes off the dribble, his shot looks nice, as you see the other night. I don't think he changed. I just think when he speeds it up, it looks different, and he's not thinking as much. And I think that's the shot he needs to shoot more.
But when he shoots a mid-range jump shot, he's getting it more straight, you know, from the middle of his forehead instead of this side saddle shot, right?
Yeah, and because he's not thinking.
Yeah.
Those wide open shots, you take a deep breath, get the seams, try to make it a perfect shot. And he thinks a lot, and I think that's where the bad shot comes from. But I love his shot when he shoots off the dribble. I think that's the shot that everybody wants to see.
You know what? This is funny. I forgot. You're a little bit sideways, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm on the side with mine. So.
Yeah, but you made so many after a while, it just went in one eye and out the other, like
the old school shot.
But see, the thing is, because his motion is so exaggerated, he's never going to get that shot off if somebody's up into him playing defense.
Not at all.
So basically, he's going to have to be a catch and shoot guy. So he has to develop this, Skip. And so, and maybe Steve, maybe you're right. It didn't look like it was way over here. It looks like it was a little bit. But if that's what it's going to take. But he's been working on this. I believe when he was injured, this is something that he's working on. He just didn't say, I'm coming in this night to this game, and this is what I'm going to do tonight, Skip. He's worked on this. I believe he was going to go back this offseason and try to work on this shot and try to correct it. Yep. And so he's speeding up the process because you work on things in practice, and hopefully it'll correlate and carry over to the game. So why not go ahead and get a head start on it right now? So I'm glad he cut down on some of them threes because he's not a three-point shooter. I don't care if he shot 52% in college.
But he shot 41%, which is pretty good.
That's impressive.
You know?
Not in college. That's 60%. Steph Curry shot like 100.
So wait a second. For a 16-game span in pro basketball this very year in the National Basketball Association, Lonzo Ball was the best three-point shooter in the NBA. The best. And then he's had a 7-game stretch where he was the worst. Well, you can't tell me he can't shoot a three-point shot when he went 16 games and he was the #1 shooter in the NBA. You can't tell me that.
Yeah, I can. Because you know what the other 35 games tell you?
Yeah.
What it tell you? That's a big sample size. But when you combine the 16 and the 35, that's 51 games. What does this percentage say? You say you like a big body of work. 51 games is a big old body of work. So what it tell you, Skip?
So I'm going to bring up a guy that we just talked about, not one of your favorite players, named Tony Parker. And I read last week that his advice to one DeJounte Murray, who is the young upcoming point guard for the San Antonio Spurs, who does not shoot threes very well. In fact, I think Lonzo's a better three-point shooter than DeJounte is. Tony told him last week, you must become the king of mid-range, because that's what Tony Parker learned to do, right? He wasn't much of a shooter when he first came over.
He couldn't
shoot a lick. And all of a sudden, it started to fall and started to fall. And now he's the king of mid for a while when he was winning, obviously, NBA Finals MVP.
He'd be shooting the floater from 14 feet.
Yeah.
Tony figured it out, though. He was so fast that his shots were either to the basket, the floater. He mastered the floater. And that mid-range game. That's what made him so great.
Deadly. Well, the shots I saw from Lonzo, which shocked me last night because I didn't see him coming, like it came out of left field, that he would start pulling up and shooting pure, pretty jumpers that looked like they were confident. Like they looked right to me. And the one he shot, the last one he made off the glass, is because he was coming from the left side, but he had to shoot it more right there. It was a conventional shot off the glass. We can see it right here. That's pretty much straight on, and it looked right to me.
But here's the thing, Steve, and you, Zach, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But if they don't think he's going to go to the basket, at some point in time, what made Tony Parker deadly was his ability to get to the basket. So that ability.
Yeah, by the way, one year he led the NBA in points in the paint.
I was on that team.
Oh, in the paint?
Yeah.
And he's 2-ish?
6'2".
Yeah.
So Lonzo's going to have to build that up because they're going to give him the three, Skip.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe look, that 30% says he's a 30% three-point shooter in the NBA. So he's going to need to get to the basket in order for that floater and for that mid-range game to become even more deadly. Because they're like, he ain't going to go he's not going to finish at the rim. So, hey.
But what a lot of people not saying is this kid going to continue to get better and his pops don't get enough props for teaching him how to work. You gotta know this kid is working on his game. He's not one of them kids that spend all his time rapping or on Instagram. This kid
Did you drop the album?
I know, but this kid does work on his game, and I think you credit that to his dad. He did teach these kids how to work and get better.
I see him dancing.
This is
on
the
Instagram.
dancing generation.
You see what I'm saying? He dancing on Instagram.
Yeah, this is the dancing generation, but the
Who
kid does
doesn't
work.
dance?
Braun ain't dancing.
I see Shannon
in
Sharp
that
dancing.
lab.
on it.
Braun in that lab.
Braun's a dancer too. He's a
LeBron's
dancer, too.
in that lab? Are
Braun
you
be in that lab.
kidding me? He lives on Instagram.
Yeah, you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got
Okay.
something for you tonight too, Skip.
well.
Rollie,
It's out.
with the rollie on.
So what has always killed me about this LeVar-Alonzo dynamic is LeVar's the biggest mouth in sports, and Lonzo is not.
No.
Right.
He's actually more Kawhi in that he's more he's more to himself, and he doesn't like to speak to the media, and he plays the right way, and he doesn't. I don't ever see him trash talk or taunt or he's a
will.
good kid.
He will.
I don't know
Because they're going to start trash talking him.
But that's what they want. You see what Jet said yesterday. His competitive fire has to come out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you might need somebody to talk trash to him, knock him down a couple times to get that going. Sometimes that bring the best out of players.
That's what you do.
That's
I'm
all
gonna
I
say
need
it again.
sometimes.
This is a special basketball player. He's got basketball genius because when you're 20 years old in your first year in this league and you're 10th in steals and you're 8th in assists,
His IQ is
that's
unreal.
okay. I mean, you're doing something that's pretty good here. And you're going 10, 7, and 7. You've stayed right on that average the whole year. 10, 7, and 7. And above those numbers are above, only is LeBron and Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons and Draymond, and then there's Lonzo. Well, you got to give him some credit. That's some pretty special stuff.
He's still a rookie.
Yeah, and I told you, Skip, all I did was tell you, they're not making the playoffs. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year, and they might win 36 games.
And that's sad because if Ben wasn't there, he'll have a good shot because his numbers are impressive.
Donovan Mitchell,
That's what I'm saying. But he'll be in the talks. He's not in the talks
No.
with Ben and Donovan Mitchell.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, he's playing 43%.
Those players played in the summer league, and wait a second, Lonzo was the MVP.
Let it
Wait.
feel good because you never had heard about him had he not.
Huh.
Yeah. Now Jason Tatum giving folk the business with Kyrie out.
Yeah, but what you don't give Lonzo any break for is his father paints this huge target on his back
father ain't
before
played.
game one.
I wouldn't
It
be able
says,
to deal with that.
Hey.
I would have went down. You got to give him some credit for that.
No.
Hey,
You gotta
you
give
remember
him
what Patrick Beverly did to him in game number 1 of his NBA career? He just humiliated. He annihilated.
That's what you do. You see, you got that dog up there. Your dad doing all that talk. Let me see what you got.
Yeah, and guess who?
The ball ain't dribbling.
Guess who he's pointing to the whole game? He's pointing the stands to the
Beat him
father,
up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, they tried to do that to me because my brother was 3 years old. They tried to get back at me, but I wasn't the one, Skip.
Yeah, but your brother wasn't saying you're going to be better
Get him,
than...
yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Get him.
he was.
Your brother was a big boy, too.
Yeah, yeah. So they tried to take it out on me, Joe. I they.
You were fine.
No. Wow.
Did he ever say, my younger brother's going to be the best tight end ever?
No.
Did he ever say that?
No.
No.
He told me I was going to eat my way to tight end.
By the way, Mr. Fake News,
You are-
Steph Curry shot exactly 41.2% from 3 in college. Guess what Lonzo shot?
Yeah. What?
41.2%.
So you
Mister, he shot 100%.
100%. But hey, did you hold on? Steph Curry took Davidson to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
Can you name another player on Davidson team that's in the NBA, or playing in Italy, or playing in Israel, or playing in the YMCA?
I didn't even know Davidson was a school until I saw Steph. I didn't go to college, excuse me.
I love Steph. I loved it. In fact, I got in an argument with his coach when he came to ESPN because they didn't get Steph the ball against Kansas in the elite game going to the...
He almost got him.
That's one of the biggest mistakes I made, actually get traded when he became a rookie.
Really?
I should have stayed on that team. Because it was a whole bunch of my little brothers, but I was at the point in my career where I wanted to be, that 1 or 2 guy and get into the playoffs again.
So you saying you forced a trade?
Yeah, I did. Because I had just signed an extension for 3 years. While I had 2 years left on my deal. I negotiated with no agent.
And so would you tell who was in charge? I don't even know who was in
Don Nelson was in charge at that time. He knew I wasn't happy there because the team was losing. It was a young team, and I remember we were in Milwaukee. And after Brandon Jennings gave Steph 55,
His rookie year.
yeah. Don Nelson came to me and was like, Jack, I know you don't want to be here. You want me to move you? How you feel about Charlotte? Don was my guy. It wasn't no bad blood. He came to my room. I think we even had a drink together. And I told him it was cool. I was cool with it. And it was fine with me because I wanted to go to Charlotte.
And the
And
rest
I
is
regret
not
it.
history.
I
You
regret
could-
it because I would
You
have
could
loved to
have
play
been, you might
with
have been on
Steph.
championship team.
Yep.
Wow. You could have been the leader of this team, right?
Well, now you just hanging out with your boy old Shea.
I'm cool with that too.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that too.
We gonna get,
Thanks for
You're
joining us.
rolling with the big three.
yeah,
Big dogs.
yeah. Now we gonna get
Will
on
the
this break.
Eagles actually trade Nick Foles?
Don't do that, Joy.
I just need you to stop crying. We'll discuss that next.